now, a chilly start to the work week. Meteorologist Damon Matson is tracking those temperatures. The new commander-in-chief for Washington football has arrived in the district.
I just want to see what he's going to do when he steps through the door.
Fan reaction on the new hire. And the DMV hit by a wave of illnesses. A top pediatrician shares how to protect your kids.
Apple Vision Pro is now available. I'll tell you what it's like to wear the headset. We'll cover comfort, cost, battery life, and more. I'm Rich DeMuro. That's coming up in Tech Smart.
And later, preparation is underway for the big game. We're in Las Vegas with what to expect this week.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Shanika Grimshaw in for Mark Hall. Meteorologist Damon Matson, he joins us with a check on the forecast on this, February 5th. It's a beautiful day out there, not too cold.
No, not at all, Shanika. Happy Monday. And,
Happy Monday.
Oh, my goodness. The sunshine, I think that makes the difference here when we're talking about the weather conditions. To kick off this week, we carried a lot of this sunshine over from the weekend, which was downright beautiful for the most part. Now, I will say, it is February 5th, early February, so because of the clear skies we had, it started out chilly this morning, right at the freezing mark in D.C. over toward Annapolis as well. But you saw a lot of 20s once you went west of Interstate 95 and even out towards southern Maryland, too. On either side of the interstate, you had those 20s in place. But that cold start is now pretty much gone as we are warming things up with a very sunny sky. Current temperatures sit in the mid to even upper 40s, and we are expecting at least a few 50s by the time we get into the middle of the afternoon. And again, it's just because of how downright clear and sunny it is going to stay. High pressure keeping us quiet as ever. And there you have those readings approaching the 50-degree mark around 3 to 4 o'clock. And we continue to carry the clear sky into the overnight hours as well. So that being the case, are we expecting another cold start to the morning tomorrow? And are we due for this sunny weather all throughout the week, or is there going to be some rainfall in the mix eventually here? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Damon. Attention, Commanders fans. There's a new head coach in town. Dan Quinn will be introduced later this afternoon during a press conference. DC News Now's Candace Cole joins us from Ashburn, Virginia, with more.
We are outside of the Commanders training camp where that announcement introducing Dan Quinn as the Commanders' new head coach is set to take place in just a couple of hours. Now, fans we caught up with say that they are excited and hopeful that Quinn could come in and turn the luck around of the team who hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 1992. Quinn is replacing Ron Rivera, who was fired from the job last month after the regular season. He comes to D.C. from Dallas, where he spent 3 seasons as defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. The Commanders are also set to bring on Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator, replacing Eric Bieniemy after just 1 season. And Joe Witt Jr., also from Dallas, will be coming on as defensive coordinator for the Commanders. This will be Quinn's second time as head coach. He previously spent 6 seasons coaching the Atlanta Falcons, where he held a 43-42 record and perhaps is best known there for the Falcons blowing through a 28-3 lead, losing to the New England Patriots during Super Bowl 51. Regardless, fans are excited about the change.
You can never doubt a person when they come in. I just want to see what he's going to do when he steps through the door.
Now, that announcement will take place here at 2:30 this afternoon. You'll want to keep it here for the latest in your Commanders coverage. Reporting from Ashburn, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
And new this afternoon, Metro will present its revised budget proposal for fiscal year 2025 this week, which includes fare increases and rush hour scheduling changes aimed at averting station closures and service reduction. In an effort to avoid a funding cliff, the budget includes a 12.5 fare increase across the board. Officials could also use more 6-car trains instead of 8-car trains, a targeted cut to rail service during rush hour. It also includes more cost-effective maintenance plans, and the budget will be presented a week after D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser offered up $200 million in additional funding. Now, the proposed budget will be presented on Thursday. It is now 12:05. Mike Gill, a former housing policy executive who also served on the D.C. Board of Elections, has died. Gill was shot during a carjacking spree last Monday. The carjacking happened on K Street Northwest. Police say the suspect, 28-year-old Artel Cunningham, was trying to steal more cars across the district and Prince George's County. Cunningham was later shot and killed after a standoff with police. Gill is the second victim of that carjacking spree to die. Officials say Cunningham also shot and killed Alberto Vasquez Jr. And Gill's wife put out a statement about his death, saying in part, quote, "His sudden departure has left a void in our lives that can never be filled." In this time of grief, we are grateful for the outpouring of love and support from family and friends and the community. And today, the Montgomery County Council is holding several committee meetings. They will focus on topics like stopping hate crimes and the transportation budget. The Public Safety Committee will give an update on the rise in crime. Officials say crimes against people are up by 7% and crimes against property are up by 11%. And the Anti-Hate Task Force also made recommendations to the committee. They described future plans to better address the need of hate crime victims. And the Transportation and Environment Committee also wrapped up a short while ago. Members of the committee spoke with DOT representatives about how the state's proposed budget will impact Montgomery County. The Maryland Transit Administration also updated the committee on the ongoing improvements being made to the MARC system. And at 1:30 this afternoon coming up, the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee is set to meet and review a proposed change to the Tacoma Park Master Plan. That change seeks to improve quality of life and guide future developments of the area. And turning back to the district, council members will take their first vote this week on a massive crime bill introduced by Brooke Pinto. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile has more on the next step for the big omnibus legislation.
That first vote on the major safety bill that Councilmember Brooke Pinto says would increase crime prevention and strengthen accountability, that vote is on Tuesday. Now, the legislative package combines provisions from Pinto's Secure DC plan introduced in September 2023, as well as several provisions, including some from Mayor Muriel Bowser's Safer, Stronger bills. The Secure DC Omnibus legislative package will do several things, including harsher penalties for gun-related crimes and shoplifting, expand the definition of carjacking to improve how it's prosecuted, reinstate MPD's ability to declare drug-free zones in crime hotspots, and those are just to name a few. Now, some provisions in the Omnibus Act have sparked controversy among some groups. This legislative package is a response to the rising crime in the district that the district saw in 2023. According to police data, violent crime went up about 39% from 2022 to 2023 in D.C. And D.C. Police Chief told DC News Now last week that they're continuing to work hard to drive crime down. And one critical aspect is working with juveniles. And she says passing the Secure DC Omnibus will help.
We have juveniles. I mean, it seems to be for almost every report we receive, it's usually a juvenile wearing a ski mask. We've got to ensure that we pass this legislation for DC Secure, because that's going to give us an additional tool in order to address these crimes. And we need to make sure that there's some accountability to these young people.
DC Council's legislative session starts this week, and it's expected the Secure DC Omnibus legislation will pass the first vote. That vote is this Tuesday, February 6th. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
And right now, D.C. Council member Robert White is participating in a bus tour of 3 locations that have undergone the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, or TOPA. The TOPA process ensures D.C. residents have unique rights. The program is in place to assist low to moderate income residents threatened with displacement. The tour includes 2 locations in Ward 1 and 1 property in Ward 4. The tour started at 11:45 and it'll go on until 3 p.m. All right, football fans have arrived in Las Vegas, and even though the big game isn't until Sunday, the parade of events have already started, and that includes the arrival of players, but it's what's happening tonight that has people talking. Sasha Loftus has a preview on opening night.
The kickoff of those events is opening night at Allegiant Stadium. It's really a great time for everyone to get together. Now, as we said, the players did arrive last night, and they both showed off in their kind of unique way. The Kansas City Chiefs arrived first with the Chiefs Kingdom flag hanging out of the pilot window. They were having fun with that. Head coach Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes, they were leading the squad off of the charter with the team's celebration song, The Beastie Boys Fight for Your Right to Party. That was blaring in the background. A few hours later, around 9:30, that was when the San Francisco 49ers touched down here in Vegas. Head coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch coming into the team's first Super Bowl since the 2019-2020 season. Trent Williams, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, and Christian McCaffrey all looking pretty relaxed. Everyone in their sweats, comfortable for the flight as fans gathered to welcome them here in Vegas. Now, neither team is staying on the Strip or anywhere near the Strip. They're both in a resort area in Henderson called Lake Las Vegas, which is about 30 minutes away, so they can be away from all the distractions and excitement and just really focus on the task at hand. Now, as I mentioned, opening night is happening tonight at Allegiant Stadium, which is always an exciting event and just the kickoff of many more things to come across the city here in Las Vegas, counting down to Super Bowl 58. And hey, we're excited to be here and bring you the very latest all week long. We'll send it back to you.